Hey, what's up? What's going on, everyone? I know my hair, I know. Well, as you can imagine, I've dropped 96 to 97 of the 147 video logs in the last 7 to 10 days. Calls me right now. Okay, you're there. I'm about to sing happy birthday and I'm on YouTube live, so I need to get off the phone. Okay? All right, bye-bye. So anyhow, yeah, so I dropped 97 to 96 of the 147 video logs over the last 7 to 10 days. So, my hair's, as always, looking the way it's looking right now. And I have yet to do the irrigation of my nasal and throat passageway, which is twice a day times 5 days towards the Anthology Storyteller Showcase performances of 6 set lists. One of the set lists created for me and with me by the former music director of the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley's Sweet Inspirations, who were the warm-up opening act and background singers for the King of Rock and Roll from 1969 up to the time of his death in 1977. So, today is, as of right now, it is my daughter's 17th birthday. It is. All right. Just hold on here. I know. Hair all oily and greasy and uncombed and all of my waves and locks entangled. So it gives off the impression that my hair is straight when my hair is organically, naturally all waves and locks, because it's just caked in grease and oil right now. Because I wrapped up all of my timebusinessnews.com written Q&A interview answers, 2,750 words. It took me 4 to 5 straight weeks. And I sent it to the publicist and her plug. So I got a Facebook message from her today. She's a Facebook friend of mine. And she said that I will hear from Time Business News when that will be on timebusinessnews.com. And then I literally did these 96 to 97 video logs in the last 10 days. So forgive me if I'm greasy, oily. My hair appears to be straight and flattened when it's the opposite of my actual hair. But I'm not at liberty to get all showered and pampered up and to blow dry my hair. And I'm not right now. I want to get this done. Okay. So anyhow, yeah. So this is how I look despite all of that. Yeah. Okay. No makeup, no film crew, no nothing. Okay. So this will take a few minutes. First of all, this is in honor of my Romana, Empress, Heiress, Centaurus, Teen, Titan, Sorceress, daughter of mine. She is 17 today. And I cannot describe to you how proud and blown away I am continuously and eternally by her. So, long story short, this super genius, skyrocketing genius, when she was around 2 to 3, she goes, "Hey, Daddy." I'd say 2 to 4. I go, "What?" And she literally hummed a verse, melody, chorus in perfect pitch. Just like that. They are 2 separate songs, and I have them memorized. I know what the main melody, aka verse, and chorus is. She even came up with titles for them and started singing them on the spot in that perfect pitch of that octave, in a melody that was actually in every perfect pitch note of our solfege, with a repetitive singing verse and chorus. That was it. All she said was, "Hey, Daddy." Hey, Dad. I go, what? She goes, check this out. That was it. Just like that. No training, none whatsoever. Okay. Then she did it to me again. We were by the dining room table. Hey, Dad, want to hear something? I said, yeah. She goes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. She zipped through her entire Roman Latin letters of her Roman alphabetical order from beginning to end in one straight shot in a matter of seconds. Then when I saw what she did in terms of the visual and fine arts of hers with her bare hands in her room at what I call her masterpiece table, I knew right there and then this is a super skyrocketing genius. So, long story short, it was 2015 February, and I was notified and informed by her teacher that she submitted the best science exam that they had seen in years when she was in the second grade. Also, then I learned, then I was informed when she was in the fifth grade at 10 and a half, going on 11, that she was reading and writing and comprehending at the 11th to 12th grade level. I repeat, my daughter in the fifth grade at the age of 10 and a half, going on 11, was reading and writing and comprehending at the 11th to 12th grade level. Okay. So there's that. Was reading and writing and comprehending at the 11th to 12th grade level. Okay. So there's that. Then she competed in a borough county-wide art fair, and she took 2 first place ribbons for her visual and fine arts. And then after taking the 2 first place ribbons, they were displayed at a state capitol building, and she attended the ceremony. And this all happened to my daughter when she was 10, going on 11. Okay. So then I'm like, wow, recording arts, visual arts, fine arts, language arts, all of the arts and sciences of her Roman Latin ancestors that they conceived, founders of Europe and the West, of the pagan empire, the Roman Empire, that would give birth to Christianity and Catholicism, to cross the crown in the church and the West. So I was really blown away by all of that. And she became quite adept. I believe, she became quite adept, at other arts, such as martial arts. And so anyway, yes. So anyhow, she made this banner right here. She made this at the age of 8 years old by hand. Look at that. Victoria. Look at that. And on the back of it, it's signed by the co-founding drummer Peter Criss the Catman of Kiss's ex-wife Lydia Criss. She wrote on the back for me, to Victoria, love, kisses, and Beth wishes, as in the song Beth. Lydia Criss, 1916, the White Horse Tavern, which was the arena and the Roma Coliseum of folk, pop, rock music that imploded out of Greenwich Village, New York City, New York in 1966 and after. And then right here on my daughter's banner is the signature of Ken Kelly of Ken Kelly Arts. Ken Kelly was the head cover fantasy artist for Star Wars and the Star Wars comic book company, Dark Horse Comics. He was also the front to back album cover artist for the Kiss albums Destroyer 1976 and the Kiss 1977 album Love Gun. Okay, so Both Ken Kelly and Lydia Chris on here. Yes. So from Kiss to Star Wars. Also, what a lot of people don't know is that Ken Kelly was also the former head fantasy cover artist for Godzilla King of the Monsters, Micronauts, Vampirella, the comic book series, also for Masters of the Universe, also for Haunted Comics, Eerie Comics, and Creepy Comics. And what a lot of people don't know about Lydia Chris is that not only was she married to the Catman of Kiss, Peter Chris, but her lifetime employer is one of the most iconic, historic, legendary rock pop historic photographers of all time, who was in fact the former personal photographer of John Lennon of the Beatles and Yoko Ono. And that man was in fact the one who picked up and retrieved in a brown paper bag the clothing items and eyewear spectacles of John Lennon of the Beatles from the police station just minutes away from the West 72nd Building 1, known as the Dakota Building, on that cold December night of December 8th, 1980, when what happened that night happened to John Lennon in front of Yoko Ono. I mention it because it's historic. Yes, it's terrible and tragic and horrific, but it's historic. It happened, and her signature is on the back of this. And I mean, is it my fault or anyone's fault that by chance that's been her lifetime employer? I didn't know that when I met with her in front of the White House Tavern. I had no idea. Zero idea. So it is what it is. But I'll never forget when Lydia Chris took me through history unlike I've ever heard of before. We walked up and down Hudson in the Chelsea, in Greenwich Village. We then went to the very corner of the former Limelight Cathedral. Then we went to the Chelsea district. We went to the very building where Kiss was founded and formed, known as the Kiss Loft. Then we went to the Street Lamp, which was the very album cover site of the Kiss Dress to Kill album, released in March of 1975. That was and this is where it's all connected again. The very same personal photographer of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, who took that photo of the four members of Kiss that fall of 1974 at that very street lamp on West 23rd Street, 8th Avenue in the Chelsea district, is the same man who picked up John Lennon's clothing items and eyewear spectacle eyeglasses from a brown paper bag from the police station, only minutes away from the Dakota Building, after what happened to John Lennon that night, the 8th of December, 1980. And he shared this man shared this in an ABC 7 2020 special. That's how I learned of it. Okay. So, all beyond my control, all publicly stated and shared and known, so be it. So, that's been her lifetime employer for the last several decades. I don't still know if that's the case, but it was when she and I were together that afternoon to the very night and twilight of the 9th of January to the 10th of January, 26 at Domino. So Lydia Chris of Sealed with a Kiss and I was fantastic. Okay. And yes, and yeah. Anyhow. So, so that's what happened here. Okay. And then Ken Kelly. I remember when Ken Kelly said to me, my daughter's father, who's doing this for my daughter, I remember when he said to me, it was the 18th of March, 2018. He's no longer with us. He is now resting in peace, in privilege, and in power. But Ken Kelly of Ken Kelly Art said to me, Jorge, no matter what you do, never stop. Keep going until it all gets done. And I am completely, totally on board with you. That is what he said to me verbatim, quote, over the phone in a direct one-on-one telephonic conversation the 18th of March, 2018 AD. He and I also had a significant conversation with each other on the 16th anniversary of 9/11/01 on 9/11/17. Now, he passed away June of last year. And again, I'm ever grateful for just everything, all of it. Okay. So I'm grateful that I was linked to Ken Kelly by Ralph Asbury of Lunar Moth Entertainment out of Central New Jersey. Shout out to you, Ralph. I love you, man. I never would have met Ken Kelly of Ken Kelly Arts if it weren't for Ralph Asbury. And he made that happen when we first met in the Iron Room at the 2017 Chiller Toy Model Film Expo in the Parsippany Hilton Hotel in Parsippany, New Jersey, which happened to be on Saturnalia Saturday, the 21st of April, 2017, which is the actual Founders Day of my daughter and I's ancestral Roma, the Eternal City. Dating back to the first Roman Latin kingdom of 8 BC, the League of Latium, Confederacy of Latium, and all of it. Off of the Italic Peninsula and the creation of Italia. Racially, blood lineally, historically, and ancestrally speaking. No more will we be defined by countries that have only been around for a century or two. It's never going to happen again. No more being defined and categorized and identified by society and culture driven by countries that have only been around for a couple of centuries, or even if they've been around for several centuries to 1,000 years. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's preposterous. Okay, now, with that said, so right here, Ken Kelly and Lydia Chris, and then so there it is, my Victoria. Yep, there it is, Victoria. There it is. By the way, you can look her up all you want, you'll never find her. There are reasons for that. We've got this very well covered. Yeah, she's very, very insulated and very well. And that's the way it's going to stay. So anyhow, I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I love my daughter. All right, let's see here. I'm so proud of her. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I love my daughter. All right, let's see here. I'm so proud of her. But I want to make sure. All right. So, one other thing. How could I forget? Then, I know. To shave, all of it. We'll get there. Once I'm done with these last points of nuked all clears and maternal, I'm down to the last 2 points. Rolling Stone / MTV Rock article feature and blog write-up, and the 6 anthology storyteller showcase performances, which requires me irrigating my nasal and throat passageway 5 days in a row at least, times 2. So 10 times in 5 days. And I know my facial hair, my hair, I know. And, when it's time, we'll go to the salon. We'll get everything detangled, evened out, shampooed, rinsed, blow dried. It's going to look gorgeous. Everything cropped. But, I'm just not at liberty to wait for all that right now. I need to get this done before this year is out. Okay. I had my daughter's banner with me when I went to the Led Zeppelin physical graffiti building. on what was the 25th of September 2016 AD on Apollo Sunday. And I sat in the very same sixth step where Jimmy Page, also known as Zoso of Led Zeppelin, sat. And I did what I did with my daughter's banner. After all, I am from the pagans who founded the Western Europe, who gave birth to Catholicism and Christianity. So we are quite ritualistic and pagano, Romano, pagan Roman. I am. So I did what I did with my daughter's banner there on the sixth step. Organically, cosmically, magically, ritualistically, and otherwise. And because it was 98 St. Mark's Place, it was the site of the front to back album cover of the Led Zeppelin double LP Physical Graffiti that was also released in 1975, along with the Kiss Dressed to Kill album. So I had this, had her banner, and within 6 weeks of that, I was knocking on the door of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley's former music director, of the Queens of Background Singing, the Sweet Inspirations, who were co-founded by Whitney Houston, the Queen of R&B pop's mom, Miss Cissy Houston, and Whitney Houston's two cousins, Dionne Warwick of Valley of the Dolls, starring Sharon Tate, and Dionne Warwick's sister, Dee Warwick, of the song You're No Good. So I had my daughter's banner that day. So there's now all of this history around my daughter's banner that she made by hand, customized when she was 8. So this is very special. Now, with that said, I am still plugged up here. It's still clogged here, but I'm going to sing happy birthday. Okay? With nothing but love and admiration and respect for my Empress. All right? All right, so let's see here. Let's put this over here. All right. Part of me wants to play drums along with this, with my ink pen on a notebook. Wait, hold on. All right, here we go. Let me see. I want to make sure I want to get a certain octave because I'm all clogged right now. This is for you, my Victoria. Yes. Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday, Victoria. Happy birthday, to you. You're 17 years old. You're 17 years old. You're 17 years old. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday to You. All right. All right. I love you, Empress. Your daddy loves you. I'm proud of you. You rule. You reign. You rock. All right. Your one and only father, Jorge Estrada, District of Columbia, DuPont Circle, Mutatio Formulae. The Roman emperor nuked all of it, and all of them that never should have been, doled out, that never was, that was always at 50 to 65 to 35 to 25%, but never at 100% plus. Mutatio Formulae.